Hey everybody, we are back at it and we are excited about tonight because the women are taking over.
We're taking over.
Come on, baby, tell them what's up.
We are going to talk about what every woman wants in bed.
Okay, well, tell me, I'm listening.
Okay.
Listen, just a little precursor. Y'all know we are in election season, right? And we got our little vote shirts on tonight. It's so important for us more than ever to get out and vote. Your voice matters. So tonight, my wife is leading. I believe in women taking the lead. And so I'm going to let her lead us. When we come back, she's going to tell us how important it is for a woman, for us to know what women want in the bedroom. We're going to let you know tonight that this is for educational purposes only. This is for mature audiences only. We prefer people who are married or seriously dating, who are considering marriage, because we want to give you the tools that you need for a successful marriage. So they should also do what?
Also, make sure that you like and subscribe.
All right. So we'll be back in just a few minutes because my wife is going to tell us what every woman wants in the bedroom. I'm listening.
We made it through the test. Strength and need, love and sex.
So tonight we're talking about what every woman wants in the bedroom.
Okay.
So I think it's important that when you're married that you need to not tell your husband, but be forthright with your husband and telling him, oh, this is what I desire, this is what I don't desire, this is what I like, this is what I don't like, and making sure that you are getting the pleasure that you deserve and you want in the bedroom.
All right. I'm all ears. I think most men want women to be a little bit more forceful, a little bit more verbal, because a lot of times men have to do all the chasing, all the initiating. So, yeah, tell us tonight, what do y'all want?
Well, there are times that, when we're intimate with our spouses, that we want to make sure that as women that we're relaxed. Well, let's back up. That we want to make sure that our list is available to be intimate, with our spouse. Sometimes we have so much going on in our head or so much going on at home that we miss that opportunity to be intimate with our spouse, and we sometimes put it on our list as a to-do list, which it should never be a to-do list. But once we get that list cleared enough, we want to make sure that we are relaxed. We're in a relaxed state of mind, that there's not a lot of chaos going on, where we can just be fully present, with our spouse.
So let me make sure I heard you right. You said you want men to know that women have a list,
Definitely.
and this list that is in your head sometimes prevents you from relaxing.
It does.
And what we can do as men is to make sure that the list is cleared
Yes,
so you can relax.
absolutely. And there's sometimes on this list, it's not saying if you have 10 things on the list that you're going to do all 10 things, but you're able to alleviate some of those things so that you can make sure that you can relax, so that it can happen naturally, so that pleasure can happen naturally. And another thing that every woman needs to know her own body. We can't tell our husbands what we like, our desire, when we don't know our own bodies. Yeah, we know some may know basic biology about our bodies and the functionality, but we really need to communicate to our spouse and to ourselves, knowing that, okay, this is what feels good, this is what doesn't feel good, this is how I would love to be touched, this gets me off, this does not, this sets my teeth on rocks. So we need to make sure that we know our own body and how things feel to our own bodies.
Let me ask you a question from a man's perspective. So, some young men were exposed to sexuality through pornography. their introduction to sexuality was through porn.
Okay.
And porn is kind of one dimensional. It's very aggressive, very rough. What do women really want in the bedroom as it relates to touch and aggression? What does a woman, the typical woman, want from her man in the bedroom that he may have missed from being exposed to pornography?
With pornography, one, those are actors. Lots of cuts and takes. It's not real. What we want from our husbands is for them to be present, because sometimes the body can feel and do things to the spouse that you're not thinking about your spouse, where you may be thinking about a scene that you may have seen in a pornographic movie, or something that you've seen on television that you're acting out in your mind, and you're non-verbally making that suggestion on your wife's body.
So what you're saying to me is that women know when a man is not physically present in the
Yes,
moment.
absolutely.
That his body is with you, but his mind is somewhere else.
Exactly.
So how do you discern that connection as a woman?
I think it's a maturity thing and knowing your spouse. And then you could still communicate. Hey, are you here? Are you okay? Bring your spouse back to awareness. Bring your spouse back to you, back to their body, making sure that they're not living outside of their body per se in this act.
How do you know when I'm present with you? What are some cues to let you know that I'm with you, that I'm locked in?
Well, one, there's the movement. Then there's the talking, the sounds that are made, our communication that we're having while we're intimate with one another. That's how I can tell that you're present with me. But you made a comment about how do you tell if a wife wants it rough or set or soft,
Gentle,
or
slow,
gentle.
yeah.
I think that really depends, because sometimes the sex act can start off very very gentle, and then it could progress
To what?
to being more rough or
Huh?
more interactive. So again, I keep saying communication is key.
So there's gears. So women have gears.
We have so many gears.
So it's not just cute
It's-
and pleasant. Oh, just softly. Sometimes you want to be like what?
Nigga, get your-
What? Come here, tear it up.
But I've told women, and when we teach, that we are like a crock pot. So when you put a crock pot on low, you don't cook a roast in a crock pot on high, because it's going to burn and it's not going to be tasty. It's not going to be moist. It'll get cooked, but it's not going to be
Tasty and moist.
Tasty
So
and
how do you
moist.
get that thing tasty and moist?
You gotta put that thing on slow, let it marinate,
Yeah.
and where you just continue to be in the act, be present, and let nature do what it needs to do.
And then the meat falls off the bone.
Yep, it really does. It
I
really
know a
does.
tenderoni. She's a sweet little girl.
Goodness.
What else? What else do women want in the bedroom?
We need that positive communication. Don't tell us what we're doing wrong. Give us the, yes, this was good. I really like when you did that, but don't run it into the ground.
What's that mean?
Meaning that if the night before was all fireworks, don't expect it to be all fireworks every time.
Let me ask you a question. I've noticed. I've noticed with us, like we had a great night, and I really enjoyed myself. The next day, I want to go look at the highlight clips in my mind. I'm like, baby, you remember when you did this? Woo, boy, that was great. And you're like, hush, boy, quit talking about it. What does that bother you when I talk about something that I really enjoyed? Or does it bother you?
It bothers me a little bit.
Why?
It's just me.
No, you gotta break that down, because we're trying, right, fellas? We're trying to understand what women want in the bedroom. So if you please me and I'm super excited about it, why does that bother you? Does it have anything to do with what you said on the last podcast? You said that lightning doesn't always strike twice.
Right. It doesn't, and I think for me it puts a little undue pressure on, like, okay, he really enjoyed this, and because I know my spouse, I know you're going to want that same fireworks to happen the next time that we're intimate. And it may or may not, it may get a little bit there, it may exceed, but I don't want to put a false expectation out there.
But I like what you said. Fellas, you know what I heard? I heard it may. Huh? There's a chance that it may.
It's a possibility.
Right?
It's a possibility.
But, okay. So communicate positively is what you said.
Yes.
So that means as men, we're supposed to give you positive feedback and not come in like, you do it too hard. What we can say as men is like, hey, babe, I like when you're gentle and, you don't use your teeth.
Or on the other aspect, it's been 2 days, dog. What's going on?
So how should I say it?
Well, it ain't been no 2 days.
I know, but you just lifted it up as an example.
But what you could say is, hey, babe, it's is everything is everything okay?
How you feeling?
How you feeling? It's been a while, but again, that's on timing. You need to make sure that the kids are not falling down the stairs. You're not in the midst of trying to prepare a meal for everybody, making sure that it's a good timing to have.
See if this is a good way for me to ask you. Let's say we haven't had sex in two or 3 days, and it's weighing on my mind and on my body, and I need to say something to you.
Okay.
So if I come up to you and say, hey, babe, how you doing today?
Mm-hmm. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Is everything going okay? You feeling good? How's your head? You got any migraines or anything? Mm-mm. Listen, I absolutely love being with you, and I know it's been a couple of days. I just want to check in with you, make sure you're okay, and to let you know that I really look forward to being intimate with you. You think we can get together tonight?
Yeah, we could try. And that leads to the next. You may have to make a plan, for intimacy. We're all busy. We schedule doctor's appointments. We schedule lunch dates. Sometimes it may be in a season where you may have to plan for intimacy, which may not always be the case, but depending on the season that you're in, you may have to plan for intimacy. And so with that being said, you're like, well, yeah, baby, let's plan to, I'm going to try to get dinner on earlier tonight. Do you mind helping me with it so that we can, have some time together?
Yeah, I can help you with dinner as long as we get some dessert.
See, that's what I'm saying.
I got you, baby. Whatever help you need, I got you. What's another thing that women want in the bedroom that every man needs to know about?
Well, we need to make sure that you don't assume that we know what you want. So, in the act, we need to make sure that you're not assuming, oh, well, she likes this position. I keep going back to communicate. You have to really over communicate even during the act.
Give me an example.
Like starting off in a position like, okay, we'll turn on your stomach, turn on your back, get on your knees. Okay, well, can we ease into it? Unless it's one of those things where you want a quickie, you need a quickie, and then you're like, all right, come on, you got 10 minutes type of thing. So don't assume that she wants to be put in a certain position without asking.
So what should the husband ask?
Just like when you approach intimacy, you start out facing one another, and then you do the dance. You have the dance on. Okay, well, we're naked. Let's assume a position that we both agree upon. Whether that's going to be missionary, whether it's going to be one of the 99,000 positions.
But yeah, I'm trying to get to how does a man know what a woman wants?
By asking.
Babe, what position we going to do it tonight?
Well, no, you're not going to just come out that and say it that way. You're going to have the conversation, and hopefully, prayerfully, that you're you're gonna know which position to go into.
Oh, you make this so hard. You make this so mysterious.
It's not mysterious. It's not
So
mysterious.
if I say to you, "Hey, baby, how you want it tonight?" Is that a safe way to ask?
That's a more gentle way. Yeah.
Like what we've kissed, we've danced, we've romanced,
yeah.
and we're getting ready to make love. And I ask you, how you want it? You want it on your stomach, on your back?
Yeah, I mean that's a more gentle way to do it, as opposed to
Instead of sitting there praying, let me see, Lord, what is my?
or are coming up like, all right, do this and put you in this position. So another thing we need to make sure is you don't wait until you're at a crisis point where you haven't been intimate in a while, and there's no communication that's going forward, knowing why you haven't been intimate in a while, and you just try to have sex to appease the person.
This reminds me of a couple that one time we reached out to them and we said, hey, we're having a marriage retreat. Y'all should come and be a part of it. And the husband's response was, our sex life is fine. We good. We don't need no help. You don't wait until you get in a crisis to improve upon your game. Mm-hmm. What if Michael Jordan said, my game is good. I don't need to practice. Michael Jordan had a strength coach. Tiger Woods has a golfing coach. I hear what you're saying, baby. Don't wait until your relationship gets in crisis before you reach out for help. Exactly.
Because it's all about having the tools that you need when you need them.
I want to become in everything that I do, I want to become a better person. I want to become a better leader. I want to become a better father, better husband, and I want to be a better lover. Mm-hmm. And so every class, every book that I can get my hands on to please you and to make our love life, sex life better, I want to improve upon that. And what I hear you saying is women don't want to wait until the love life gets in a rut before we go out and get some help and tools on how to make it better.
Absolutely. And I can't say enough that there are going to be times when things are not where they 100%. Mm-hmm. Our bodies change. We're both going, you're both going through the change. There's there's aging parents that we may be taking care of. There's grief you may be dealing with. There's so many things that affect a woman's body indirectly that will affect her love life with her husband. And so just be forthright with your spouse. And when you're having the pillow talk in the mornings or in the afternoons when you're checking in with one another, or even at night, be transparent with your spouse and let your spouse know what's really going on.
Yeah. I was reading an article by Sarah Bright, a sexologist from the UK, and one of the points she made that she wants men to know that women want to express is, don't think everything is on the menu. What do you think about that? Don't think everything is on the menu. What do you think she meant by that?
Well, that could go a lot of ways. It could be different sexual positions, different sexual acts. Just because you've been married for X amount of years, don't think that this is okay without having that conversation, making sure that you're both comfortable. And even with this whole menu, everything, what does the Bible say? Everything that is permissible.
Everything is permissible, but not everything is beneficial.
Right.
1 Corinthians 13.
So knowing that, I would think that everything is not going to be on the menu, because depending on what your spouse's has his past, her past, some trauma that that has taken place, that may some triggers. So depending, again, you got to find out what's going to work for that individual couple.
And sometimes when you go in restaurants, some of the things on the menu are seasonal. Come on, somebody.
All right.
You may not be able to get asparagus or clam chowder in the spring, but you can get clam chowder in the fall. You may not be able to get a quickie here, or you may not be able to do this position because in this season my arthritis is acting up. In this season I'm experiencing some dryness. But now that I'm past the dryness and I'm wet again, we could try that again. And I think there has to be some flexibility on the part of men, especially as we age and get older, that we have to know that even though we want everything on the menu, this ain't the season for that.
Right.
And to be okay with that, because there's so much more on the menu that you can enjoy, that you don't have to pout because that one thing is not accessible right now.
And even if it's a seasonal vegetable, I'm going back to the analogy you use, there's sometimes you can substitute something in that season because your body may not be responding or acting accordingly like it did when you were 20 and you're 55.
I think too, we mentioned on the last podcast, we said don't presume. And for me, what that means as a man is we cannot presume that what worked in the past, what brought lightning and flashing thunder, or flashing lightning and sounding thunder before, may not work again.
Right.
And the beauty about being married for a long time, being in a relationship in a long time, is that you have a chance to try different things and not get stuck on the same old thing. Because after, nobody wants to eat chicken every night. Well, you do.
I like it.
That we want variety. We got to mix it up. So you can't presume that what has always worked will continue to work. Is that something women want men to know?
Absolutely. Because when we were 20, when we first got married, our bodies could do different things. You know, every time you get another zero behind your age, something doesn't work the way it used to. And in our minds, we would like to think that it's continuing to work, but our body is saying differently.
Sarah Bright also mentioned that women want men to know, to appreciate quality.
What do you mean by that?
She was referencing how it's not how long we do it or how frequent we do it, but the quality that we put into the love act itself. So the kissing and the touching. I think a lot of women, from what I know from you, is that women want to be touched like it's the first time. Like the touches need to be intentional and soft. You know, just take your time with my body. The quality of your kisses. You know, don't rush through the kisses. I love to taste your lips, your tongue. The quality is more important for a woman than I think it is a man. Men, sometimes we are so quick to go to orgasm and go to sleep, eat our turkey sandwich and go to sleep, that the woman is left there wanting, like, really? He touched a fraction of my body. I'm still yearning for more, and he's asleep. So am I right or wrong that quality is important for women?
You're right. The quality is important, but I think it's not I mean to say, but
You always
it's the whole package. So it's not just when we're getting ready to go to bed, or we're getting ready to be intimate. I think it's that total package of all day where we want that quality to be loving. We don't want it to be where it's been intense all day and now you're thinking, oh, it's 8:30, it's time for intimacy time, it's sexy time, and you think that switch is just gonna automatically switch over. It's almost like what I can't think of it, but Battlefield of the Mind.
Joyce Myers.
Joyce Myers. Everything for a woman starts in the mind. So if our mind is right, our bodies will follow. It's almost like what my Pilates teacher says, that where your eyes go, your body goes. So we need to make sure that our mind is in a good frame, and then our body is going to follow.
What about this idea or notion that because we're so busy, especially as we get along in life, some with small children, some with careers, that a woman thinks that sometimes you need to plan for sex. Does that take the romance and the fire out of it if you got a plan for it?
Depending on that season. Like I said in the last podcast, you have to plan for so many things. You have to plan for doctor's visits. You have to plan for lunch dates, for coffee. Depending on the season you may be in, you may have to put it on the calendar a couple times a week and be intentional. Like, okay, well, I did make this appointment. Although we're planning for it, you used to say a thing, you have to act your way into a feeling. And so starting off, it may not sound so romantic that you're planning, but your body should follow once you are in the act. Like, okay, I know we planned for it, and yeah, we don't have the roses and all the things associated with this, but I know this is what my spouse needs in this season, and this is what's going on. So let's put it on
I
the calendar.
think planning can actually be good because there's an intentionality that comes behind the planning. If you knowing that you're going to be making gourmet sex on Friday night, as a man, I'm getting my game together. I'm gonna have my flowers.
Okay.
I'm gonna have some oils. I'm gonna get some lingerie. I'm gonna make sure you are good. Your list is clear. So there can be some benefit in planning ahead.
Okay, I see that.
Yeah.
I see that.
But we just want to stop by tonight and to share with you guys what women want us to know. And I hope, fellas, that it helped you because I want to put you up on game. My wife has put you up on game so you can know how to go and please your woman and take your love making to the next level. We also want to remind you again, it's time to get out and vote. We are in election season. It's crucial. Our democracy is hanging in the balance. Our children's future is hanging in the balance. We need somebody who is sane, somebody who is for the people, somebody who we can trust in that Oval Office. Please get out and vote. Our lives depend upon it. And if you enjoyed tonight, please go subscribe and share. Right, babe?
Yes, and we also have a wonderful group of married couples that we're striving to stay married.
Yes.
And so we offer counseling, we have meetups. If you are interested in being a part of our inner circle, please go to theedencircle.com and check us out there.
Yeah. And listen, tonight we're going to try to jump back on Spencer's After Dark. So at 8 p.m., we want you to meet us on TikTok, on Instagram, on not Facebook, but our YouTube channel, Naked and Unashamed SLS. We'll be back at 8 o'clock. We're going to dig deeper into what do women really want. I don't know if my wife expressed everything that y'all want. We want to hear from other women on what you want. But in the meantime, go invite your girlfriends, your guy friends, your married friends. Tell them to be back on it live. We're going to dig in a little bit deeper. We love you guys, and we'll see you at 8 o'clock.